This is a question from linear algebra. If A is a skew-symmetric matrix, then A transpose is, and four options are given. Option A diagonal matrix, option B A, option C minus A, and option D 0. And the basic property is that if A is skew-symmetric, then A transpose is equal to minus A. This is the basic property. So based on the options, option C is the correct answer. A sample example would be, suppose A is equal to 0, 2, 4, minus 2, 0, 3, minus 4, minus 3, 0. And A transpose is equal to 0, minus 2, minus 4, 2, 0, minus 3, 4, 3, 0. This matrix A is said to be skew symmetric because this A transpose is exactly equal to minus A. So option C is the correct answer. This is a question from engineering mathematics. If A and B are two arbitrary events, then option A, probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B. This is true only when events A and B are independent. So no such criteria is mentioned. So this cannot be the right answer every time. So A is not correct. Option B, probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. This is true only when both A and B are mutually exclusive. That condition is also not mentioned here. So this also cannot be correct. Option C, probability of A given B is equal to probability of A intersection B plus probability of B. This is actually false. The correct formula would be probability of A given B is equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Let's see option D. Probability of A union B is less than or equal to probability of A plus probability of B. This is true. P of A union B can be written as P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Since we are subtracting this component, every time probability of A union B will always be less than or equal to P of A plus P of B. So option D is the correct answer. This is a question from engineering mathematics. Using Newton-Raphson method, a root correct to 3 decimal places of the equation x cube minus 3x minus 5 equal to 0 is. Actually, using Newton-Raphson method, it takes quite a time to find the correct answer. Newton-Raphson method is a method to find the successively better approximation to the roots of a real valued function. It is one of the example of root finding algorithms. This is what Newton-Raphson method is. So one shortcut to find the root correct to 3 decimal places here is f of x is equal to x cube minus 3x minus 5. So just put the options one by one in f of x and check whether if you are getting 0.000 as we are trying to find out the accuracy up to 3 decimal places. Option A is 2.222. So that is f of x is equal to 2.222 to the power of 3 minus 2.222 into 3 minus 5. This is equal to 0.695354. So this is not getting 0.000 form. This is not the correct answer. Let's put 2.275. Here we will have 2.275 to the power of 3 minus 2.275 into 3 minus 5. We will get 0.050453. This is also not coming on the form 0.000. Let's put option C 2.279. We will get 2.279 to the power of 3 minus 3 into 2.279 minus 5, which is equal to 0.00023 going on. So we get the form 0.000 form. So option C, 2.279 is the correct answer here. This is a question from databases. What does the data dictionary identify? And four options are given. So a data dictionary is a file or a set of files that contains a database's metadata. The data dictionary contains records about other objects in the database, such as the data ownership, data relationships to other objects, and other data. It is a very crucial component to a database. So typically a data dictionary contains the names and descriptions of various tables and their contents like field names, field formats, field types, etc. So based on the options, option A, field names, it's correct. Option B, field format, it is also correct. Option C, field type, this is also correct. So all of these are correct. So option D, all of this is the correct answer. This is a question from databases. Which of the following concurrency control protocol ensures both conflict serializability and free from deadlock? Option A, timestamp ordering. Option B, two-phase locking. Option C, both A and B. And option D, none of the above. So this is two-phase locking and this is timestamp ordering. Both ensures conflict serializability, but only timestamp ordering protocol is free from deadlock. Free from deadlock, not deadlock free. So based on the options, option A is the correct answer, as only timestamp ordering protocol ensures both conflict serializability and free from deadlock. This is a question from databases. Asset properties of a transaction are, and four options are given. So every transaction should hold the asset properties. Let's see what are the abbreviations for A, C, I, and D. A stands for atomicity. Atomicity. It means that either a transaction should be performed completely or it should be rolled back. Now C. C stands for consistency. Consistency. It means that every transaction specifies some consistency constraints and these constraints should follow even after a transaction had occurred. So now let's see the options. All the options A, B, C and D have these two. Now let's see what is I. I stands for isolation. Isolation. It means that every transaction should be performed in isolation so that no other transaction can see the intermediate result of any other transaction. So now we can rule out options C and D. And finally D. D stands for durability. Durability. This means that every transaction performed should be recorded, and despite all the failures, these records must persist. So based on the options, option B, atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. This option B is the correct answer. This is a question from databases. A database table by the name overtime allowance is given below. We have the columns employee, department and overtime allowance. What is the output of the following SQL query? Select count star from, an inner query is given. Select employees, comma department from overtime allowance as S. Natural join, select department, overtime allowance from overtime allowance as T. So let's draw the two tables. First of all, table S. We are selecting employee and department. We have Rama, Gopi, Sindhu, and Mahesh. And the departments are mechanical, electrical, computer, civil. This is table S. Now let's draw table T. We have department and OT elements. We have mechanical, electrical, CSE, and civil. And the overtime elements as 5000, 2000, 4000, and 1500. Now we are performing natural join. When we apply natural join on S and R, it matches the common attribute department in both the tables and outputs the common tuples. So one match would be this, next match would be this, next match would be this, and next match would be this. So this would result 4 tuples. So the correct answer is option B, 4. This is the correct answer. This is a question from databases. Which symbol denote derived attributes in AR model? An attribute which can be derived from other attributes of the entity type is known as derived attribute. An example of derived attribute is age, because from date of birth we can derive age, and the symbol in ER model to denote a derived attribute is dashed ellipse. This is how we denote a derived attribute. Derived attribute. Example would be age. So based on the options, option B, dashed ellipse, is the correct answer. This is a question from discrete mathematics. The symmetric difference of sets A and B is, and 4 options are given. Let's see what are the elements in set A. It includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The elements in set B includes 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now the symmetric difference between A and B is equal to A minus B union B minus A. First of all, let's calculate A minus B. It means that elements that are present only in A and not in B. So when we look it like that, 1 is present in both, 2 is present only in A. So we add 2 here. 3 is present in both, 4 is present only in A. 5 is present in both, 6 is also present in both, 7 is also present in both, and 8 is also present in both. So A minus B equal to set 2, 4. Now B minus A includes elements that are present only in B and not in A. When we look at, only 9 will belong in. So A and B set difference is equal to 2, 4 union 9. So the symmetric difference between A and B is 2, 4 and 9. Based on the options, option B is the correct answer. This is a question from theory of computation. The problems 3 set and 2 set are both NP complete, both in P, NP complete and in P respectively, undecidable and NP complete respectively. So let's first of all understand what is P and NP. P is the set of problems that can be solved by a deterministic Turing machine in polynomial time. NP is a set of decision problems that can be solved by a non-deterministic Turing machine in polynomial time. P is a subset of NP. Now what is NP complete? NP complete problems are the hardest problems in the NP set. A decision problem L is NP complete if L is in NP. That is, any given solution for NP complete problem can be verified quickly, but there is no efficient known solution. And the second property is that every problem in NP is reducible to L in polynomial time. So these are the definitions of P and NP complete. Now let's see the options. The problem 3 set is NP complete and the problem 2 set is in class P. So based on the options, option C is the correct answer. This is a question from theory of computation. Given the following statements, S1, every context sensitive language L is recursive. S2, there exists a recursive language that is not context sensitive. Which of the statements are true? So let's draw the Chomsky hierarchy of the languages. We have in the innermost regular, then we have context free, context free, then we have context sensitive, that is CSG, context sensitive grammar, and the topmost we have recursively enumerable. Let's write it here, RE. And recursive languages comes under subset of recursively enumerable. So let's see the first option. Every context sensitive language is recursive. Yes, this is true because recursive languages belongs to this area. So every context sensitive language is recursive. S1 is true. Now let's see the second option. There exists a recursive language that is not context sensitive. This is also true because there can be a recursive language that is present here. So this is not context sensitive but recursive. So based on the options, both S1 and S2 are correct. So option D is the correct answer. This is a question from theory of computation. Which of the following is false? Option A. There is a unique minimal DFA for every regular language. This is true. Option B. Every NFA can be converted to an equivalent PDA. Yes, it is possible. This is also true. Complement of every context-free language is recursive. Yes, according to Chomsky hierarchy, this is also true. Every non-deterministic PDA can be converted to an equivalent deterministic PDA. Power of deterministic PDA is not same as power of non-deterministic PDA. Deterministic PDA cannot handle languages or grammars with ambiguity. But non-deterministic PDA can handle languages with ambiguity and any context-free grammar. So every non-deterministic PDA cannot be converted to an equivalent deterministic PDA. So this statement is false. So based on the options, option D is the correct answer. This is a question from theory of computation. In some programming languages, an identifier is permitted to be a letter followed by any number of letters or digits. If L and D denotes a set of letters and digits respectively, which of the following expression defines an identifier? Let's see the options. Option 1, L plus D the whole star. So here we can generate epsilon or null, but based on the question, we have to generate at least one letter. So this is not the correct answer. Same goes for option B. Here it is L followed by D, but it does not guarantee to generate L at least once. This is also false. Let's see option C. We have L that is occurring at least once followed by L plus D the whole star. Clearly, option C is the correct answer as it generates a valid identifier because it can start with a letter then followed by any number of letters or digits. So L dot L plus D the whole star can only generate the strings for a valid identifier. So option C is the correct answer. This is a question from algorithms. The recurrence relation that arises in relation with the complexity of binary search is, and 4 options are given. Binary search happens in a sorted array. The time to search in an array of n elements is equal to the time to search in an array of n by 2 elements plus k comparisons. So in effect, In binary search, we are recursively dividing the array into two halves, but then we are effectively searching only on one half of the array. So based on this, we are dividing the array of size n into n by 2, then k comparisons, where k is a constant. So option B, t of n equal to t of n by 2 plus k, where k is a constant, is the correct answer. This is a question from algorithms. Which one of the following in-place sorting algorithms needs the minimum number of swaps? The options are insertion sort, quick sort, heap sort, and selection sort. The correct answer is option D, selection sort. Selection sort is an in-place sorting algorithm having minimum number of swaps. It works on a greedy approach and takes order of n swaps for n elements. For n elements. So option D, selection sort, is the correct answer. This is a question from data structures. Given two statements, insertion of an element should be done at the last node of a circular list. Deletion of an element should be done at the last node of a circular list. And the options given are both are true, both are false, first is false and second is true, and D, none of the above. There is no hard and cut rule to say that insertion of an element should be done at the last node of a circular list. Insertion can be done at beginning, end, or at any position of a circular list. This is actually depending upon the requirement. Even deletion also has no specific rule for specifying whether it should be done at the last node only. So both the options are false. So option B, both are false, is the correct answer here. This is a question from data structures. Which of the following data structure is useful in traversing a given graph by breadth first search? Options are stack, list, queue, and none of the above. The correct answer is option C, queue, because BFS performs level order traversal, which can be fairly done using a queue. A queue uses FIFO ordering. FIFO ordering. And the nodes that we enqueue first are explored first by maintaining the order of the traversal. So based on the options, for breadth first search, we use queue, and for depth first search, we use a stack. Here, correct option is option C, queue. This is a question from digital logic design. How many 128 cross 8 bit RAMs are required to design 32K cross 32 bit RAM? And the options are 512, 1024, 128, and 32. Here we require 32K cross 32 bit RAM. That is 32 into 1024 into 32. We have 128 cross 8 bit RAM. So the total number of RAM chips required are equation 1 by equation 2. We have 32 into 1024 into 32 divided by 128 into 8. We will get 1024. So the correct answer is option B, 1024. This is a question from computer organization. The most appropriate matching for the following pairs: X indirect addressing, Y immediate addressing, Z auto addressing, and one loop, two pointers, three constants. So let's see. X indirect addressing. In indirect addressing, the instruction does not have the address of the data to be operated on, but the instruction points where the address is stored. It is indirectly specifying the address of memory location where the data is stored. So it is indirectly calling pointers. So X points to 2. Next is immediate addressing. In immediate addressing mode, the data to be used is immediately given in the instruction itself. So it deals with constant data. So Y is 3. And next one is auto decrement mode. Before determining the effective address, the value in the base register is decremented by the size of the data item which has to be accessed. This is what that is happens in auto decrement addressing mode. This is used essentially in looping. So Z refers to 1. Now based on the options we have option B, X refers to 2, Y refers to 3 and Z refers to 1. Option B is the correct answer. This is a question from digital logic design. Which interrupt in 8085 microprocessor is unmaskable? Option A RST 5.5, option B RST 7.5, option C trap, option D both A and B. There are actually 5 interrupt signals in 8085 microprocessor. They include trap, RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5 and INTR. These are the 5 interrupt signals. First of all, what is maskable and unmaskable and the difference between them? In maskable interrupt, we can disable this interrupt by writing some instruction into the program. Example includes RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5. These are maskable. And unmaskable interrupts. These are interrupts that cannot be disabled by writing some instruction into the program. An example is trap. This is unmaskable. And the question asks for unmaskable interrupt. So the correct answer is option C, trap. This is a question from computer organization. A cache memory needs an access time of 30 nanoseconds and main memory 150 nanoseconds. What is the average access time of CPU? Assume hit ratio to be 80%. So here we have the CPU. Next to CPU we have the cache. Then we have the main memory. This is how the organization is. So cache hit percentage is equal to 80%. So whenever CPU requests for a piece of memory, first it looks into the cache. If it is found in cache, it is directly returned to the CPU. If it is not found in cache, then it goes into main memory for searching. Once it is searched in main memory, then it is returned back to the CPU. So this is how it goes. So the basic formula to calculate the average access time is hit ratio of cache 0.8 into 30 nanoseconds, which is the average access time for the cache, plus miss ratio in cache, that is 0.2 into time to check in the cache, that is 30 nanoseconds, plus time to search in the main memory, that is 150 nanoseconds. So we have 24 nanoseconds plus zero point 0.2 into 180 nanoseconds. So in total we have 60. So the correct answer is option A, 60. This is a question from mathematical logic. Which one of the following Boolean expression is not a tautology? Let's see first option. Here it means that A implies B. It means that if A true, then B is also true. Here based on the law of transitivity, A implies B implies B implies C. So B implies C is also true. So using transitivity, we can say that A implies C is also true. So this is a tautology. So this is not the right answer. Now consider case B. Here, if A and C is true, is meaning that A and C has same value. Same value. Now assume A, B and C to be false. So the expression A and B will be false and expression negation B will be true. So RHS of the given equation should be true, but it evaluates to be false. Therefore, this is a contradiction. This is not a tautology. So this can be a candidate. Now let's see option C. Option C, it means that A and B and C implies C or A. Assuming A implies B is equal to negation A or B, we can rewrite it as negation of A and B and C or C or A. We can rewrite it as negation A, negation B, negation C or C or A. Again rewriting negation A or A or negation B or negation C or C. We have true or negation B or true, which evaluates to be true. So this is also a tautology. So this is not the correct answer. This can be a correct answer. This is also not the correct answer. Now let's see option D. A implies B implies A. We can rewrite it as negation A or negation B or A. This is negation A or negation B. This is true or negation B, which implies true. So this is also true. This is also true. This is not tautology. So based on the options, option B is the right answer here. This is a question from digital logic design. What is the minimum number of 2-input NAND gate used to perform the function of 2-input OR gate? So here we are required to find the minimum number of NAND gates required to implement the function of an OR gate. So let's begin. First of all, let's draw the first NAND gate. Here the input is A. The second NAND gate input would be B. We combine this input and pass it to the third NAND gate. So this would generate A plus B. So the correct answer is option C, 3 NAND gates. Now let's go for the explanation. Here we are passing A. Here also we are passing A. So we have A bar as the output here. Similarly, we'll have B bar as the output. So here what we'll be having is A bar dot B bar, the whole bar. Applying De Morgan's law, we have A double bar plus B double bar, which is equal to A plus B. This is the function of 2-input OR gate. So option C is the correct answer. This is a question from digital logic design. When two n-bit binary numbers are added, the sum will contain at most n bits, n plus 3 bits, n plus 2 bits, n plus 1 bits. So the correct answer is option D, n plus 1 bit. Let's see an example to understand how this works. Assume n is equal to 2. So we have a 2-bit number. The maximum value of 2-bit number is 3, that is 1 1. So 3 plus 3, this is decimal system, we will get 6. Now in binary it will be 1 1 plus 1 1. So 3 plus 3 6 means we will get 1 1 0. This is the number, that is 4 2 1. So we have 6 represented as 1 1 0. So this has 3 bits, whereas n initially had 2 bits. So while adding two n-bit binary numbers, the sum will contain at most n plus 1 bit. Option D is the correct answer. This is a question from digital logic design. The 2-input XOR has high output only when the input values are and 4 options are given. First of all, let's draw the truth table. One input is A and another input is B. A XOR B, 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. A XOR B can be written as A bar B plus A B bar. So we have 0 0. So A bar means 1 into 0 plus 0 into 1. We have 0. Now 0 1. 0 1 means A bar will be 1 into 1 plus whatever we have adding here, we will get 1 only. So here we have 1. Similarly here also we will have 1 because A bar is 0 into B is 0, but A is 1, B bar is 1. So we have 1. and 1 1 is 0 because A bar is 0, B is 1 plus A is 1 but B bar is 0. So we have 0. So based on the truth table, we can say that the two input XOR has high output only when the input values are different. So these are the cases where input is high. Here, when both inputs are different, we get high output. So the correct option is option D, different. This is a question from computer networks. Physical topology of FDDI is, and four options are given. FDDI stands for Fiber Distributed Data Interface. It provides 100 megabit per second optical standard for data transmission in local area network that can extend in range up to 200 kilometers. And basically it uses ring-based token network. It did not use the IEEE 802.5 token ring protocol as its basics. Instead, it used protocol that was derived from IEEE 802.4 token bus timed protocol. So based on the options, option B, ring topology is the correct answer. This is a question from computer networks. In networking terminology, UTP means, and four options are given. UTP stands for Unshielded Twisted Pair Cable. It consists of two unshielded wires twisted together. These are extensively used in LANs and telephone cables. So, based on the options, option C, unshielded twisted pair is the correct answer. This is a question from computer networks. The default subnet mask for a class B network can be, and four options are given. First of all, what is subnet? A subnet is a logical subdivision of a network. It is the practice of dividing a network into two or more networks, and this process is called subnetting. Now, subnet masks are used to divide a given network into two or more subnets. And the default subnet mask for class B network is 255.255.0.0. So based on the options, option D is the correct answer. This is a question from computer networks. If there are n devices or nodes in a network, what is the number of cable links required for a fully connected mesh and a star topology respectively? So in a fully mesh network, it is similar to a complete graph. Here every node is connected to every other node. So suppose we have n nodes, then we can use the formula NC2 to derive the total number of cable links required in a fully connected mesh. That is equal to n into n minus 1 divided by 2. This is the correct answer for fully connected mesh. And in a star topology, we have n minus 1 nodes that are connected to one network at the center. Hence, the total number of links would be n minus 1. Now, the answer is n into n minus 1 by 2 for fully connected mesh and n minus 1 for star topology. Now, based on the options, option A is the correct answer. This is a question from computer networks. Which one of the following protocol is used for transferring electronic mail messages from one machine to another? And the correct protocol is option D, SMTP. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. SMTP is used when an email is delivered from an email client such as Outlook Express to an email server, or when an email is delivered from one email server to another. And SMTP uses the port 25. So the correct option is option D, SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. This is a question from computer networks. Which media access control protocol is used by IEEE 802.11 wireless LAN? And four options are given. The IEEE 802.11 MAC protocol is a carrier sense multiple access protocol. It also has collision avoidance. So the media access control protocol used by IEEE 802.11 wireless LAN is carrier sense multiple access collision avoidance. So the correct answer is option B. Now, in this protocol, the station senses the medium before transmitting the frame. This protocol has been developed to improve the performance of CSMA. CSMA bar CA is used in 802.11 based wireless LAN, and the correct option is option B. This is a question from computer networks. An Ethernet frame that is less than the IEEE 802.3 minimum length of 64 octet is called, and four options are given. Option A short frame, option B small frame, option C mini frame, and option D runt frame. And the correct answer is option D runt frame. Runt frame. These runt frames are mostly caused by collisions. Some other causes include malfunctioning network card, buffer underrun, duplex mismatches, or software issues. So, the Ethernet frame that is less than the IEEE 802.3 minimum length of 64 octet is called runt frame, and the option is option D. This is a question from computer networks. Match with the suitable one. Two lists are given and we have to match the following. First one, multicast group membership. It is actually mapping to Internet Group Management Protocol. This Internet Group Management Protocol is a communication protocol used by host and adjacent routers on IPv4 network to establish multicast group memberships. So IGMP is an integral part of IP multicast. Now B, Interior Gateway Protocol. It is a part of Open Shortest Path First, that is OSPF. So B matches with 3. OSPF is a routing protocol for IP-based networks. It uses a link state routing algorithm and falls into the group of Interior Gateway Protocol operating within a single autonomous system. And C is Exterior Gateway Protocol. It is a part of Border Gateway Protocol, that is C maps to 4. Border Gateway Protocol is a standardized exterior gateway protocol designed to exchange routing and reachability information among the autonomous systems on the network. Now RIP, Routing Information Protocol, is one of the oldest distance vector routing protocol which is used to employ the hop count as a routing matrix. So RIP maps to option A, distance vector routing. Now based on the options, A maps to 2, B maps to 3, C maps to 4, and D maps to 1. So option A is the correct answer. This is a question from network security. MD5 is a widely used hash function for producing hash value of 64 bits, 128 bits, 512 bits, 1024 bits. The MD5 message digest algorithm is a cryptographically broken but still widely used hash function which produces a 128-bit hash. 128-bit hash. Although MD5 was initially designed to be used as a cryptographic hash function, it has been found to suffer from extensive vulnerabilities. But still, it can be used to verify the checksum, as it can be used for identifying the data integrity, but only against unintentional corruption. So, based on the options, option B, 128 bits is the correct answer. This is a question from network security. Which protocol suite designed by IETF to provide security for a packet at the internet layer? And options are IPsec, NetSec, PacketSec, and SSL. So the correct answer is option A, IPsec. In computing, the Internet Protocol Security or IPsec is a network protocol suite that authenticates and encrypts the packets of data sent over a network. IPsec include protocols for establishing mutual authentication between agents at the beginning of the session and negotiating of cryptographic keys to use during the session. So, IPsec is the protocol designed by IETF to provide security for a packet at the internet layer. Option A is the correct answer. This is a question from network security. Pretty good privacy, PGP, is used in browser security, FTP security, email security, and none of the above. Pretty good privacy is an encryption phenomena that provides cryptographic privacy and authentication for data communication sent over email. It generates a public key to encrypt a message at the sender's end and a private key to decrypt a message at the receiver's end, allowing us to send files and messages securely over the internet. OpenPGP is an email encryption standard. Open PGP is an open encryption email standard. So based on the options, option C, PGP is used for email security is the correct answer. This is a question from computer networks. What is WPA? Option A, wired protected access. Option B, Wi-Fi protected access. Option C, wired process access. And option D, Wi-Fi process access. WPA stands for Wi-Fi protected access. It is a standard security for computing devices equipped with wireless internet connection. WPA provides data encryption and user authentication to the computing devices connected to a Wi-Fi network. So, WPA stands for Wi-Fi protected access. And based on the options, option B is the correct answer. This is a question from software engineering. Estimation of software development effort for organic software in basic COCOMO model is. So the basic important point is organic software development in basic COCOMO. So the first formula is effort applied is equal to AB K log BB, and development time is equal to CB into effort applied to the power of dB in months. So people required is equal to, this is 1 and this is 2, 1 by 2. This is the formula. And for organic software development, AB equal to 2.4, BB equal to 1.05, and then CB equal to 2.5, and DB equal to 0.38. So the basic formula would be 2.4 K log to the power 1.05 per month. This is the correct answer. And option C will be the correct option here. This is a question from web technology. XPath is used to navigate through elements and attributes in XLS document, XML document, XHTML document, XQuery document. XPath is actually a major element in the XSLT standard. XPath can be used to navigate through elements and attributes in a XML document. XPath is a syntax for defining parts of an XML document. It uses path expressions to navigate through XML documents. So, based on the options, option B, XML document is the correct answer. This is a question from C++ programming. We are given two functions. First function is square, which accepts a single pointer variable, and second is also square, which accepts two pointer variables. Now we are initializing number equal to 30 and we are passing square number comma number. This is function overloading, and by default this function is being called, and we are asked to print what is the output. So first of all, let's write what number means. This is number. Number is this variable. It stores 30. Now 300 is the memory address of this number. We are passing it to two pointer variables x and y. X and y. Both x and y contains this memory address 300. So both points to this. Now this function gets executed. First of all, what happens is minus minus star y gets executed before multiplication because it has higher precedence. So what happens here is star y, it returns the value in the address 300. It returns 30. Now we have minus minus 30, which is equal to 29. Now we execute star x. Star x means 30. 30 into 29. We get 870. This is the answer. So based on the options, option C, 870 is the correct answer. This is a question from OOPS concept. Which of the following operators cannot be overloaded? Option A, member access or dot operator. Option B, ternary or conditional operator. Option C, scope resolution operator. Or option D, all of the above. All the operators described in the options are ternary operators. So they cannot be overloaded. That is, member access, ternary, and scope resolution operator all cannot be overloaded because they are ternary operators. So as a result, option D, all of the above is the correct answer. This is a question from software engineering. Which of the following UML 2.0 diagram captures behavioral aspects of a system? So the UML 2.0 diagram that captures the behavioral aspect of a system, it includes first one, activity diagram. Then we have communicational diagram. Communicational diagram. Then we have interaction diagram. Interaction diagram. Then we have state machine diagram. Then we have timing diagram. Then use case diagram. These diagrams capture the behavioral aspects of a system according to UML 2.0. So based on the options, option B, it includes use case diagram, activity diagram, and state machine diagram. Other options include others diagram, which are not actually capturing the behavioral aspects. So based on the options, option B is the correct answer here. This is a question from OOPS concept. Which of the following is associated with objects? State, behavior, identity, and all of the above. So an entity that has a state and behavior is known as an object. Object has two properties, that is state and behavior. Three characteristics of an object are: first one, state, that is the data or value of object. Second one is behavior. It is the functionality of an object. Functionality of object. And the third property is identity. It is typically implemented via a unique ID. The value of the ID is not visible to the external user. So these three are the important characteristics associated with an object. So based on the options, D, all of the above is the correct answer. This is a question from databases. Which one of these is a characteristic of RAID 5? Dedicated parity, double parity, Hamming code parity, and distributed parity. First of all, what is RAID? RAID stands for redundant array of independent disk. Independent disk. It is a way of storing the same data in different places on multiple hard disks to protect data in case of a drive failure. This is RAID. Now, what is the characteristic of RAID 5? RAID 5 consists of block level stripping with distributed parity. So, based on the options, option D, distributed parity, is the correct answer. This is a question from operating system. SATA is the abbreviation of, and four options are given. SATA stands for Serial Advanced Technology Attachment. It is a standard for connecting and transferring data from hard disk drives to the systems. As the name implies, SATA is based on serial signaling technology, unlike IDEs where it uses parallel signaling. So, based on the options, option A, Serial Advanced Technology Attachment is the correct answer. This is a question from software engineering. Capability Maturity Model, CMM, is a methodology too, and four options are given. Let's first of all understand what is Capability Maturity Model. It is a methodology used to develop and refine an organization's software development process. The model describes a 5-level evolutionary path of increasingly organized and systematically more mature process. So, based on the options, option A, develop and refine an organization's software development process is the correct answer. Option A is the correct answer here. This is a question from operating system. What problem is solved by Dijkstra's Banger's algorithm? Cache coherence, mutual exclusion, deadlock recovery, and deadlock avoidance. Banger's algorithm is used to avoid deadlock. So, deadlock avoidance is the basic aim of Dijkstra's Banger's algorithm. The Banger's algorithm is also referred to as detection algorithm, is a resource allocation and deadlock avoidance algorithm developed by Dijkstra. It tests for the safety of allocating resources by simulating the allocation of predetermined maximum possible amount of resources for a particular number of processes. It ensures that deadlock will never occur. So, the problem which is solved by Dijkstra's Banger's algorithm is option D, deadlock avoidance. This is a question from algorithms. The number of swappings needed to sort the numbers 8, 22, 7, 9, 31, 5, 13 in ascending order using bubble sort is, and four options are given. Bubble sort is a simple sorting technique which sorts the elements by swapping the adjacent elements. So this is how bubble sort works. So let's see how the elements are swapped in each pass. So first we have 8 and 22. So 8 is less than 22, no swapping happens. Then we have 7. So since 22 is greater than 7, 7 and 22 get swapped. So we have 8, 7, 22, 9, 31, 5 and 13. So this is the first swap. This happens in the first iteration. As of now, we have reached 22. Now 22 and 9 get swapped. So what happens is we will have 8, 7, 9, 22, 31, 5 and 13. This is the second swap. As of now, we are at 22. 22 and 31, no swapping happens. 31 and 50, next swapping happens. So we have 8, 7, 9, 22, 5, 31 and 13. This is the third swap. And now 31 and 13, that is also swapped. So we have 8, 7, 9, 22, 5, 13 and 31. This is the fourth swap. So by this, first iteration is complete. Now let's see how the next swapping happens. We have 8 and 7. 7 and 8, it gets swapped. Then we have 9, 22, 5, 13 and 31. This is the fifth swap. Now we are at 8. 8 and 9 no swapping. 9 and 22 no swapping. Now 22 and 5 they get swapped. So we have 7, 8, 9, 5, 22, 13 and 31. This is the sixth swap. Next we are at 22 here. The next swap would be 22 and 30. So we have 7, 8, 9, 5, 13, 22 and 31. This is the seventh swap. Next we have in the next pass 13 and 22 it's not swapped. 22 and 31 also it's not swapped. Now we have 7, 8, 9 and 5 get swapped. So we have 5, 9, 13, 22, 31. This is the eighth one. Next we have 8 and 5. So we have 7, 5, 8. These two get swapped. That is being written here. 9, 13, 22, 31. This is the ninth swap. At last 5 and 7 get swapped. We have 5, 7, 8, 9, 13, 22, 31. This is the 10th swap. So based on the options, we have 10 swaps and option D is the correct answer. This is a question from data structures. If the post order traversal gives AB minus CD star plus, then the labels of the nodes 1 to 3 will be what? The post order traversal is A, B minus C, D star and plus. And the post order traversal will be like this. 4 gets printed first, then we have 5, then we have 2, 6, 7, 3 and 1. This is the order. So we have 4, 5, 2, 6, 7, 3, 1. In this order, it gets printed. So 1 will be obviously plus because the root gets printed at last. So 1 is equal to plus. The next one is 2. 2 will be what? 2 will be from here it is like this 1, 3, 7, 6, 2, 5 and 4. So 2 will be minus. Next we have 3. 3 will be star and 4 will be A. 5 will be B. 6 will be C. 7 will be D. Now the 1, 2, 3 will be what? 1 is equal to plus, 2 equal to minus, 3 equal to star, 4 equal to A, 5 equal to B, 6 equal to C and 7 equal to D. Based on the options, option A is the correct answer here. This is a question from operating system. What is the output of the following program? We have an integer variable A equal to 10 and if fork equal to 0, we are comparing fork with 0. If it is successful, then we have A++, then we have print A. So fork is a system call. It is used to create processes. Fork create processes. It takes no arguments and returns a process ID. The purpose of fork is to create a new process, which becomes the child process of the caller. After a new child process is created, both processes will execute the next instruction following the fork system call. Suppose this is the parent process. We have A equal to 10, then we call fork equal to 0 if condition is there. Then we have A++, then we are printing A. This is the parent process. Suppose if fork equal to 0, that is if the fork process call is successful, it creates a child process with the same instance or the code. Then we have A equal to 10, fork equal to 0, then we have A++, then we print the value of A. Since this is the child process, this particular condition gets executed. Now we have a equal to 10. Now a plus plus would be 11. So 11 gets printed. Now it returns back. Now here the value of a equal to 10. Since this is not executed, what happens is we are just printing the value of a. Here we get 10. So the final option would be 10 and 11. This is the correct answer. Based on the options, option A is the right answer here. This is a question from operating system. Given reference to the following pages by a program, we have 0, 9, 0, 1, 8, 1, 8, 7, 8, 7, 1, 2, 8, 2, 7, 8, 2, 3, 8, 3. How many page faults will occur if the program has 3 page frames available to it and it uses optimal replacement? Optimal page replacement is used in such a way that it will replace those pages from the memory which is least used in the future. This is the basic concept of optimal replacement. Now we have 3 page frames, page 1, page 2 and page 3 available in the memory. So when we call 0, it is not available in the memory. So it causes page fault 0. When we call 9, it again causes page fault. So 9 gets inserted. 0 is a hit as it is already in memory. 1 is again a miss. So 1 is kept here. It is a miss. Now when we call 8, 8 will be page fault. But we'll replace that page from the page frame that is least used in the future. So we have 0, 9 and 1. 1 as we traverse from here to this side, we have 1 is recently used. Then as we move, 9 and 0 is not recently used anywhere. So let's replace 0. 0 is replaced with 8. Now we have 1. 1 is again hit. 8 is also a hit. 7 is a miss. So 7, to place it in the page frame, we replace among 8, 9 and 1. We have 8 which is in the foreseeable future, 1 also in the foreseeable future. So 9 gets replaced with 7. Now we have 8. 8 is hit, 7 is a hit, 1 is a hit. Now 2, it is a miss. Now we'll replace 8, 7 or 1. 8 will not be replaced. 7 also will not be replaced. Since 1 is not being used, we replace 1 and put 2. Now 8, 2, 7, 8, 2 all are hit. Now 3 is a miss. Now we can replace either 7 or 2. Let's replace 7 with 3. Then 8 is hit and 3 is also a hit. So the total number of page faults includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So option A, 7 is the correct answer. All this dot represents page fault. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Option A, 7 is the correct answer. This is a question from C programming. Consider the following C function. Void swap int x int y, int temp, temp equal to x, x equal to y and y equal to temp. In order to exchange the values between two variables a and b, we can perform any of the options given below. First one is called swap of a comma b. Option A will not exchange the values of x and y because the parameters are passed by value. Since the parameters are passed by value, we cannot swap it because the code is not exactly exchanging the values here. Second option is called swap of ampersand a comma ampersand b. Here we are passing the memory addresses of a and b to the variables x and y. But since x and y are not pointer variables, we cannot perform the swap in this option also. Option C, swap a comma b cannot be used as it does not return any value. Option C is also false because return value is not required for exchanging the variables. Option D, swap of a comma b cannot be used as parameters are passed by value. Yes, this is true. We cannot use swap of x comma y because parameters are passed by value. Only way to exchange the variables are by passing their addresses and then modifying the content using the dereferencing operator. So the correct code would be int would be swap of int pointer variable x, int pointer variable y. Then create a pointer variable temp. Now content of temp is swapped with content of x. Content of x is equal to content of y. Content of y is equal to content of temp. And calling swap ampersand a ampersand b. This is the correct code to swap the values of two variables a and b. So based on the options, option D is the correct answer here. This is a question from C programming. What does the following C statement declare? It is given as int star f int star. So this means that it is a pointer to a function which takes an integer pointer as an argument and returns an integer. So based on the options, option C is the correct answer here. This is a question from operating system. Mutual exclusion problem occurs and four options are given. Mutual exclusion happens when two or more processes share the same resources but cannot access the same resource at the same time. This is solved using different tools such as semaphores. So using semaphores, we can solve mutual exclusion problem. We solve mutual exclusion. Semaphore is just one method to solve the mutual exclusion problem. Now let's see the options. Option A, between two disjoint processes that do not interact, false. Option B, among processes that share the resources, true. Option B is the correct answer here because mutual exclusion happens when two or more processes share the same resource but cannot access the same resource at the same time. Let's see option C, among processes that do not use the same resource. This is also false. Option D, between two processes that use different resources of different machine. This is also false. So based on the options, option B is the right answer. This is a question from digital logic design. 1217 in octal is equivalent to, and four options are given. Here three options are given in hexadecimal and one option is given in decimal. So first of all, let's try for the hexadecimal format. 1217 in octal. Let's convert it into binary. 7 can be written as 111 in octal. 1 is written as 001. 2 is 010. 1 is again 001. This is how in binary it is written. Now to convert it into hexadecimal, let's map 4 bits each. This is the first 4 bits. So we have F. Next we have these 4 bits, that is 8. Next we have these 4 bits, that is 2. So we have 2, 8, F in hexadecimal. Now see the options. Option A is 1217 in hexadecimal. No. Option B is 028F. Yes, this is the correct answer. Even option D is wrong. Even option C is also wrong. Option B is the correct answer here. This is a question from software engineering. Which of the following is not a life cycle model? And four options are given. Software life cycle models are those which describe the various phases in software development. These models demonstrate the entire working life cycle of a software from the initial phase of feasibility study to the maintenance phase. Some example of software lifecycle models are spiral, prototyping, waterfall, incremental, etc. These are SDLC, software development lifecycle models, whereas capability maturity model is a process model which specifies the process improvement approach in a software development. So capability maturity model is not a SDLC, and The question is, which of the following is not a life cycle model? Option D, capability maturity model is not a life cycle model. So option D is the correct answer. This is a question from data structures. The best data structure to check whether an arithmetic expression has balanced parentheses is, and four options are given: queue, stack, tree, and list. The correct answer is option B, stack. Stacks can check equal pair of balanced parentheses efficiently. Whenever we get an open parenthesis, we can push it onto the stack, and we get the corresponding closing parenthesis, we can pop it. After performing all push and pop operations, if at the end the expression stack becomes empty, then the expression has a balanced parenthesis. Else, it is not a balanced parenthesis. Let's see a sample. This is a balanced parenthesis expression. Let's push the opening parenthesis into the stack. We have pushed it. Now let's put the next opening parenthesis also onto the stack. Now we see a closing parenthesis. Let's pop it. So the stack now becomes like this. Upon seeing the next closing parenthesis, we pop the next opening parenthesis. Now the stack is empty as well as the expression is also completed. So this is a balanced parenthesis. Now let's see this expression. We push the opening parenthesis onto the stack. Upon seeing this, we pop it. Now the stack is empty, but still we have a closing parenthesis. So this means that this is not a balanced expression. So using stack, we can check whether an arithmetic expression has a balanced parenthesis or not. Option B is the correct answer. This is a question from software engineering. The cyclomatic complexity of each of the modules X and Y is shown below, and it is 10. What is the cyclomatic complexity of the sequential integration shown on the right hand side? This is the sequential integration. So what is cyclomatic complexity? It is a software metric used to determine the complexity of a program. It is a count of the number of decision points in the source code. Higher the count, more the complex. So this is what cyclomatic complexity is. Now let's calculate. So cyclomatic complexity is equal to number of decision points plus 1. Number of decision point plus 1. So here already the cyclomatic complexity of modules X and Y is already given. So the number of decision point of X, number of decision point of X is equal to cyclomatic complexity minus 1, that is 10 minus 1, which is equal to 9. Similarly for Y, it is also 10 minus 1, which is equal to 9. Therefore cyclomatic complexity of the integration is equal to number of decision points plus 1. So since it's sequential integration, the decision points would be 9, that is this 9 plus this 9, 9 plus 9 plus 1, which is equal to 19. So the cyclomatic complexity of the sequential integration is 19. The correct answer is option B, 19. This is a software engineering question. In software maintenance, tackling the changes in the hardware or the software environment where the software works is corrective maintenance, perfective maintenance, adaptive maintenance, and preventive maintenance. The correct answer is option C, adaptive maintenance. It is the modification of a software performed after delivery to keep it functional with respect to the working environment. So, adaptive maintenance is the software maintenance that is used to tackle the changes in hardware or software environment where the software works. Correct answer is option C, adaptive maintenance. This is a question from C programming. What will be the output of the following C code? We are given an integer declaration I and a for loop. Inside the loop, again int I equal to 10 is declared and we are printing the value of I, then we are incrementing the value of I. So here what happens is variable I gets declared. Similarly, inside the loop, what happens is new memory created with variable I. But scope is within the loop. This is the important point. Scope within loop. Whereas the scope for this I is for checking the for loop condition and the scope of this variable I is within this loop. So this is the important point. So while printing, whatever values assigned to this I gets printed here and this I gets incremented here. But while checking the loop, this I is getting incremented. This is the important point. Now, for every outer loop checking, the I value gets incremented. That is this I. This I gets incremented. For printing, this I gets incremented. Now let's see the loop condition. This is outer and let's write inner. In outer, initially I equal to 0. In inner, I is equal to 10. Now this condition is checked. I equal to 10, we are printing the value of I. So 10 gets printed. As of now, it becomes 11. Now I equal to 1. Again, I is declared as 10. So 10 gets printed. Again, I gets incremented, so it becomes 11. Now we get inside the loop. I 1 is less than 5. This is working. Now I becomes 2. Again 10. So 10 gets printed. This follows. So until I equal to 5, this outer loop condition fails. 10 gets printed. So how many times 10 gets printed? The outer loop's value is from I equal to 0 to 4. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 10 gets printed 5 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 gets printed 5 times. So the correct option is option B. Option B is the right answer. This is a question from C programming. What does the following program do when the input is a 16-bit integer? And this is the following code. For the sake of simplicity, let's assume we are having 4-bit unsigned integer. Then let's see what happens. Here the loop would be for I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus, and printf will have num left shift I and I left shift 3. Using ternary operator 1 or 0 would be returned. So AND is bitwise AND. This is shift operator and left shift and has less precedence than shift operator. These are the points to remember. One other point is that 1 left shift 3 is equal to 1 in 4 bit is 0001 left shift 3. We are shifting it 3 times. We will get 1000. This is another important point. Now let's see how the loop works. Initially we have I equal to 0. So num here is assumed to be 4101. So then we have 101 here. Let's assume it as 4 and let's assume here it as 3. Now num left shift I, we have 101 left shift 0 times, which is equal to 0101, and we are handing it with 1000. what we get is 0, 0, 0, 0. So it prints 0, prints 0. In the next loop, what we have is I equal to 1. For I equal to 1, we have 1, 0, 1. Left shift it 2 times. We have 0, 1, 0, 0. And when performing AND operation 0, 1, 0, 0 and 1, 0, 0, 0, we get 1, 0, 0, 0. So we are printing essentially 1. 1 gets printed. So let's note down here how the value gets printed. First 0, then 1. Here we get 1 as the output. Here we get 0 as the output. Now I equal to 2. We have 1, 0, 1, left shift 2. Here we are actually left shifting it by 1. Then we get 0, 1, 0, 0. And we are adding it with 0, 1, 0, 0 and 1, 0, 0, 0. We get 0, 0, 0, 0. So here also we are printing 0. So 0 gets printed here. Now I equal to 3. 1, 0, 1, left shift 3. We get 1, 0, 0, 0. So what we are having here is 1, 0, 0, 0 and 1, 0, 0, 0. We get 1, 0, 0, 0 and we print 1. So here 1 gets printed. There is a small mistake in this position. We are adding it when we are left shifting. We get here as 1, 0, 1, 0 itself, and then we are adding it. We get 1, 0, 1, 0. So the output will be 1, 0, 0, 0. So in essential, this is simply printing num. Now this can be extended to 16-bit integer also. So this code essentially prints the binary equivalent of the number. So based on the options, option C, it prints the binary equivalent of the number. It is the correct answer here. This is a question from C programming. What is the output of the following program? We have a global variable temp which is equal to 20. Then we are printing the value of temp. Then we are calling a function. Then we are again printing the value of temp. In the function, temp is declared as a static int, and again we are printing it. So this temp would be a global declaration. Global. This is temp, and it is assigned a value of 20. This would be a static allocation. Static, and it is assigned a value of 10. This is also temp. Now main is the entry section of the program. So initially the program enters here. Now it's trying to print the value of temp. So since there is no internal declaration here, the global value of temp will get printed first. So we have 20. Now this function gets called. So control gets transferred here. There is a static variable that is local to this particular function. So it is having higher precedence than this global variable temp. So this 10 gets printed. So we have 10. Now again, after the function goes back, we are again printing the value of temp. Since there is no local variable in this main function, global variable gets the precedence, and again we print the value 20. So based on the options 20, 10, 20, option B is the correct answer here. This is a question from computational linguistics. Which product metric gives the measure of the average length of words and sentences in a document? And 4 options are given: SCI number, cyclomatic complexity, LOC, and fog index. The correct answer is option D, fog index. It is an index which is used to understand whether a document is easy to read or difficult to read. Fog index gives the average length of words and sentences in a document. So the correct answer here is option D, fog index. This is a question from operating system. Consider a disk system with 100 cylinders. The request to access the cylinder occurs in the following sequence given here. Assuming that the head is currently at cylinder 50, what is the time taken to satisfy all requests if it takes 1 millisecond to move from one cylinder to the adjacent one, and shortest seek time first policy is used? So let's write the cylinders request in an increasing order. We have 2, 4, 7. In between we have 6. 6, 7, 10. Then we have 15. Then we have 19. We have 20. We have 34. We have 73. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 requests. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 requests. So the disk is currently at cylinder 50. Assume it is somewhere here. Now, since shortest seek time first is used, 34 is the next closest cylinder. So it moves from 50 to 34. This is the position 50 to 34. Now since it is at 34, the next shortest distance would be 20. So what happens here is it will be moving in this direction only to satisfy all the requests. Then to satisfy the request of 73, it moves from 2 to again back to 73. So the request order will be 50 minus 2 plus 73 minus 2. We have 48 plus 71. 71 plus 48. We have 8 plus 1, 9, 190. So the correct answer here is option B, 119. This is a question from databases. A B tree is used as an index for a large database that has 4 levels, including the root node. So it has 4 levels. If a new key is inserted in this index, then the maximum number of nodes that could be newly created in this process are. Suppose all nodes are completely full. It means that every node has n-1 keys. Tree has 4 levels here. So if a new key is inserted, then at every level we will be creating a new node. And in the worst case, the root node will also be broken into 2 parts. Worst case scenario, root node gets broken into 2 parts. Thus, initially we have 4 levels, but as it's broken into 2 parts, the level will increase by 1. So we have 5 levels in the worst case. So the correct answer is option A, 5 to this question. This is a question from operating system. A critical region is, and 4 options are given. So what is the definition of a critical region? A critical region is a shared piece of code where only one process can execute at a time. This is the definition of critical region. So based on the options, option A is the right answer here. This is a question from data structures. Choose the equivalent prefix form for the following expression that is given here. So for example, if the infix expression is A plus B, here plus being the operator and A comma B be the operand, it is written as plus AB in prefix form. Now let's rewrite the expression once again. A plus B minus C star D minus E divided by F plus G minus H. Now if you are considering this as A, this as the operator and this as B, the prefix expression would be star A B. Now let's consider the prefix for this A. So it will be A plus B minus C. Since this is having higher precedence, first we find the prefix of this. So we have A plus minus B C. This is a single term. Now the prefix of this would be plus A minus B C. This would be the A term. So the initially it would be star A. So this is equal to star, this is A, star plus A minus BC. Now the prefix for B is what? We have D minus E divided by F plus G minus H. So we can write it as divided by first minus DE. Now this expression plus and minus has same precedence, so we follow the associativity rule. So let's write it here. F plus G minus H. First we follow this, that is plus Fg minus H. Then again it will be, this would be A, this is operator, this is P. So we have minus plus FGH. So we have minus plus FGH. Now we can write the expression. This is B. So we have star A B. Star A means this, that is star plus A minus BC, and B is this whole expression. We can write it as divided by minus DE minus plus FGH. Now let's see the options. Based on the options, option A is the correct answer. Star plus A minus BC divided by minus DE minus plus FGH. Option A is the correct answer. This is a question from operating system. malloc and calloc is used for, and four options are given. Dynamic memory allocation, static memory allocation, both dynamic and static memory allocation, and none of the above. malloc and calloc is both used for dynamic memory allocation. So option A is the correct answer. But there is some differences between the usage of malloc and calloc. malloc, here it creates one block of memory of fixed size. One memory block of fixed size. Whereas calloc, it assigns more than one block of memory to a single variable. More than one block of memory to single variable. The major other important differentiation is that it provides dynamic memory allocation, but here it provides continuous memory allocation. Contiguous memory allocation. That is, the block of memory that is allocated using calloc will be a continuous block. This need not be the case for malloc. So both are dynamic memory allocation methods. Now what is dynamic memory allocation? In dynamic memory allocation, the memory is allocated during the runtime from the heap segment. That is the important point. Memory allocated during runtime from heap. So based on the options, option A is the correct answer. This is a question from operating system. The Linux command mknode myfifo b416. What does this command do? So mknode command makes a directory entry and a corresponding inode for a special file. It is of the syntax mknode file name followed by B or C followed by major or minor. So B, it indicates that a special file which is a block oriented device, a special file that is block oriented device, block oriented device. Whereas C, it denotes that special file is a character oriented device, special file that is character oriented device. So now this mknode command is executed usually with the root permission. Mknode requires root access. So this myFIFO is the file name. B would indicate that it is a special file that is a block oriented device. 4 and 16 are the major and minor device numbers. So let's see the options. Option A, it will create a character device if the user is root. No, since we have B, it is creating a block oriented device. Will create a named pipe FIFO if the user is root. No, this is also not correct. Option C, it will create a block device if the user is root. Yes, option C is the correct answer here. This is a question from operating system. Which of the following statement is true? Hard real-time OS has less jitter than soft real-time OS. Hard real-time OS has more jitter than soft real-time OS. Hard real-time OS has equal jitter as soft real-time OS. None of the above. So first of all, what is jitter? It is effectively the variation between the signals or data that is being sent. Variation between signal or data being sent. So for a hard RTOS, that is hard real-time OS, it deals with high sensitive system, whereas soft RTOS deal with less sensitive system. So based on the definition of hard real-time OS and soft real-time OS, we can say that the jitter should be lesser in hard real-time OS than in soft real-time OS, because since hard real-time OS deals with sensitive system, it requires strict deadlines. Some of the example includes satellite launching, engine control system, etc. Whereas for soft real-time OS, it does not require strict timing constraint and a bit delay between the data being sent is acceptable. So hard real-time OS requires less jitter when compared to soft real-time OS. So option A is the correct answer here. This is a question from Java programming. Which of the following is superclass of all errors and exception in the Java language? Runtime exception, throwable, catchable, none of the above. All the errors and exception types are subclasses of the built-in class that is throwable. So throwable class is the superclass of all errors and exception in Java language. Throwable is superclass for all errors and exception in Java. And based on the options, option B, throwable, is the correct answer here. This is a question from web technology. Choose the most appropriate HTML tag in the following to create a numbered list. First option is DL. DL defines a description list. Description list. Second one is UL. It defines an unordered list without numbering. Unordered list without numbering. Next we have LI. It defines an ordered list with numbering. Fourth one is OL. It defines list item. So in the question, it asks the HTML tag for creating a numbered list. So based on the options, option C, LI, as it creates ordered list with numbering. is the right answer here. This is a question from algorithms. Which of the following algorithm solves the all pair shortest path problem? Option A, Prim's algorithm. Prim's algorithm is used to find the minimum spanning tree of a given graph. MST of a given graph. This is what Prim's algorithm does. Dijkstra's algorithm. It is used to find the shortest path from source to all other nodes in a weighted graph. Shortest path from a source to all other nodes in a weighted graph. Then we have Bellman-Ford algorithm. It is used to find the shortest distance from source to all other nodes in a graph that contain negative weight edges. Shortest path from source to all other nodes in a graph with negative weight edges. And the final one is Floyd-Warshall algorithm. It is the all pair shortest path problem solver. It is used to find the shortest distance between every pair of vertices. Shortest distance between all pair of vertices. All pair of vertices. So option D, Floyd-Warshall algorithm is the correct answer here. This is a question from theory of computation. If L and P are two recursively enumerable languages, then they are not closed under and four options are given. The important point to note here is that recursively enumerable languages REL are not closed under complement. Also, set difference between A and B, which is denoted as A minus B, is equal to A intersection B complement. So, since there is a complement here, set difference between L and P, that is L minus P, will be equal to L intersection P complement. Since recursively enumerable languages are not closed under complement, so set difference between L and P, which are both recursively enumerable languages, are also not closed. So option D, set difference, would be the correct answer here. This is a question from software engineering. In the context of modular software design, which one of the following combinations is desirable? Option A, high cohesion and high coupling. Option B, high cohesion and low coupling. Option C, low cohesion and high coupling. And option D, low cohesion and low coupling. So first of all, what is coupling and cohesion? Coupling. It is the manner and degree of interdependence between software modules. So degree of interdependence between software modules. This is coupling. What is cohesion? It is the degree to which the elements of a module belong together. So degree of elements in a module belonging together. So in a good software design, It is always desirable to have less interaction among modules, which means that low coupling, and high cohesion, because the degree of togetherness between the elements in a single module should be high. So high cohesion. So this is the desired property, that is low coupling and high cohesion. So option B, high cohesion and low coupling, is the correct answer here. This is a question from compiler design. The output of a lexical analyzer is a parse tree, intermediate code, machine code, stream of tokens. A lexical analyzer takes the skeletal code and produces a stream of tokens as the output. These tokens will consist of identifiers, keywords, separator, operators, and literals. This stream of tokens is then passed to the syntax analyzer for further analysis. So based on the options, option D, a stream of tokens, is the correct answer here. This is a question from algorithms. The time complexity of computing the transitive closure of a binary relation on a set of n elements is known to be, and 4 options are given. So to compute the transitive closure of a binary relation on a set of n elements, we can use Floyd-Warshall algorithm. We can use Floyd-Warshall algorithm. And the time complexity to compute transitive closure using Floyd-Warshall algorithm is order of n to the power 3. So correct answer is option C, order of n cube. This is a question from operating system. At a particular time, the value of counting semaphore is 10. It will be 7 after option A, 3V operation, option B, 3P operation, option C, 5V operation and 2P operation, and option D, 2V operation and 5P operation. So let's understand what are the P and V operation means. P means wait. It decrements value of counting semaphore by 1. Value of counting semaphore, let's denote it as CS, by 1. And V means signal. It increments value of counting semaphore by 1. So this is the basic concept. Now the value of counting semaphore currently is 10. After what operations will it become 7? With 3V, V means we are incrementing. Option A, 3V means it becomes 30. So this is not possible. After 3P operation, 3P means we are decrementing the value of semaphore by 3. So 10 minus 3 equal to 7. So option B can be a correct answer. Now let's see operation C. We are performing 5V and 2P. So 10 plus 5 minus 2. We will get 13. So option C is not a correct answer. Now let's focus on option D. We are performing 2V and 5P operation, which means 10 plus 2 minus 5, which is equal to 7. So option D is also correct. So based on the options here, option C, both B and D are the correct answer here. This is a question from data structures. In a doubly linked list, the number of pointers affected for an insertion operation will be, and 4 options are given. The number of pointers affected will actually depend on where we are inserting the new node. It can be at the tail or head. Then 2 pointers get affected, or it can be at any other position other than head or tail. Head or tail. It requires 4 pointers. So insertion at the middle surrounded by 2 other nodes will give 4 pointer modification, or insertion at the tail or head of the doubly linked list would require 2 pointer modification. So none of the options here are matching. Actually depends on nodes of doubly linked list. That option is actually a vague option. So this question was excluded for evaluation. Excluded for evaluation. So this is what the correct answer would be, 2 or 4, but it depends upon where we are trying to insert the new node, and this question was excluded for evaluation. This is a question from digital logic design. Advantage of synchronous circuits over asynchronous circuit is option A, lower hardware requirement, option B, better noise immunity, option C, faster operation, and option D, all of the above. Actually, synchronous circuit cannot have faster operation than asynchronous, but the only advantage it has is it is easier to avoid hazards in synchronous circuit, but that option is not given here. So this question is also excluded for evaluation. This question is also excluded from evaluation. So none of the options were matching in this.